Hello, everyone. Happy Monday night. Um, I am still in mourning for my Bucks. It was a tough battle, but without Middleton, they're kind of, and I'm not making excuses. The Celtics were definitely the better team. Even though we could defend inside the basket, they just rained threes down on us. So um, I'll be man enough to say the better team won. I know there's a lot of people from Milwaukee here that are rooting against the Celtics going forward, but we'll see. Um, I'm coming to you Monday night with Alan. He's on his way tomorrow morning, bright and early to Hawaii. Going to be joining a friend of ours, Daniel Gomez, down there. And I don't know, did Daniel follow you or did you follow Daniel down there? Whose idea was it to go to Hawaii?
So what happened is I encouraged Daniel Gomez to go to a Bob Harrison Increase event 2 years ago. Daniel Gomez says, I've never heard of Bob Harrison. I said, that's impossible. He used to headline with people that we all know, like Les Brown and Zig Ziglar and some other heavyweights in the speaking field. So Bob Harrison and I have been friends for a while, and I encouraged Daniel Gomez to go last year to an event. And then I encouraged him to go to Hawaii, and he could not go. And then I encouraged him again to go, and then he ended up going to the Bob Harrison. So yes, I was the one that encouraged him and pushed him to go.
Okay. Yeah, because I was talking to Daniel last week or earlier late last week, and yeah, he mentioned it. So now I think, does he call himself an international speaker? For those of you that don't know, Daniel is a motivational speaker, helps business coach. He's got a program called the Millionaire Mindset. And was it last year or the year before? I think he originally started with something called Sticker Shock. But basically,
Sticker Shock,
yeah, basically to get people to become more professional, become speakers, become publishers. So it's my intent, hopefully sooner or later, to join Alan and Daniel on one of those excursions. He's originally from he's down in Texas, and I know a lot of his sessions are down there. But for me, he's been a great coach. Hopefully look to pick up working with him again. So anyways, so yeah, like I said, I'm still in mourning. Alan's an amazing person to get you to see positive things, to have a better outlook. So things are looking up. For you guys, this is actually the earnings app. And I'm close. I want to do a couple more tweaks, see how it looks on an actual phone. You can limit based on stock price, setting the minimum stock price to either 0, 25, 50, or 100. Or 75 or 100, and then the stock volume to either 0, 25, no, 50,000, all the way up to 1 million shares. So, and what we're looking at is the first line. So basically there's an expiration date, and the call volume times the last price, and the put volume times the last price, and then the call open interest times the last price, and the put open interest times the last price. And maybe what I'll do is add the actual option volume to this list. But basically what it does is it looks at, you pick a date and it looks at the next 3 expirations. Like for instance, if I pick the 23rd, it would pick the 27th, 6/3, and the next Saturday or next Friday. Not sure why that's not working.
Well, there's probably nothing there. A lot of stocks don't go at after market; they go before market. Why don't you do the 18th and we'll see how Home Depot.
18th and
Or
actually,
so, yeah. Well, we'll try the 18th before market. Before market.
18th before market.
Yeah, it's populating.
Right.
If you recall, 2-3 years ago, I went ahead and did a series on the earnings, and I would text people the earnings trades that I was doing. You know, Brian remembers those days. Now they got Lowe's and Home Depot. Oh, there's Target. Interesting. So right now you got $23 million in puts on Target and 13 million calls. But it's interesting. It's the other way around on at the money. The volume today was 16 million versus 2 million.
Right, yeah, the volume.
That tells me the calls are probably going to do well on this one. But then if you look at June 3rd, it's all the puts again.
Right, yeah, as you go out. I think we're, still in this bearish environment. So I think most of what you're going to look at is on the put side. So,
Looking at the trade, the trade that I'm standing on mine right now is the low puts. It could be I've seen lows when the short sellers get behind it. Lows, I've seen it drop $10, $15.
really?
Mm-hmm. This is the rule. The rule usually is the case on Home Depot and Lowe's. Usually, this is how you play Home Depot and Lowe's. Usually, it could change, but this is what happens. Home Depot has its earnings. It goes up usually about $7. And then within a half hour, it stops and reverses. Then by the end of the day, it goes down $5 to $7. So it goes from $7 up to basically $7 down. Now what it is you usually play the Lowe's trade at the same time. The Lowe's will go up, then it'll go down, and then the next day Lowe's goes down again.
And I was just looking, Home Depot actually reports the day before. So this is,
It always does, yeah.
yeah. So, and theoretically, we could go look at. Is that going to do it?
Well, Walmart usually goes up on earnings, but at the money, it's showing it's going down. $19 million puts on Walmart.
Yeah, and open interest. Volume's kind of flat, 9 to 6.
Yeah, right now you got 50 million puts to 12 million calls.
Yeah. So now here's the quirky thing that I want to reach out to my programming friend. If you notice, you have Walmart here and you have Walmart here and you have Walmart here, interlaced with Home Depot. Now the way that Android works is it goes and says, okay, I need to go call out on the internet. And as soon as that data comes back, process it. it doesn't lock up your phone and wait for those results to come back. So while it goes to get this Walmart, Home Depot may have snuck in here and processed these. So like I said, just a little quirky thing that.
So my thoughts on it, Brian, I wouldn't go anything but at the money calls and puts. Because generally speaking, it's only a great once in a while they'll hide them in the following weeks.
So the first,
Probably misleading. So if you go Home Depot, you got 50 million puts to 12 million calls. So that's a 4-to-1. Home Depot's going down and Walmart's going down. So to me, those are the only ones that I'd even follow on my earnings trade.
and that's tomorrow before the bell, I think.
Well, it says before market, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think they do. I can check Walmart. Darn it. So you guys know I broke my watch. I have a,
You probably threw your watch when the Celtics
I know, right?
spanked your bucks. You probably got mad or something.
I know, and you know what's sad is that, so I have 5 kids. I have a 17-year-old who's going to UW-Madison next year. I have a freshman in high school, and I have a 7th grader. And all 3 of them have iWatches. So, and I have a cheap $30 Fitbit sort of thing from work. So, welcome to my life. All my money just flows into my kids and my wife.
You just want that. You just want to have good things.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe for Father's Day, maybe that's what they'll get me, is I'll drop hints that I need a new watch. So an Apple Watch would be good. So yeah.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Well, let's talk a couple things here. So the thing is that this app are you gonna be able to list that on the Google Play Store?
I am, yeah. I believe so. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll get this. See, now if you guys noticed, right now there's no logging into this. There's no, as far as the 5-minute rule or the FTM options app, you need to specifically log in. So what I might do is put this on the Google Play Store as a test product and let you guys play with it while I develop the login procedures and talk with Alan. But when I do that, I'm hoping that you guys, I know Alan will give me feedback. I'm hoping that you guys give me feedback as well. Take pictures of these stocks and then see what they do in earnings. Because the more feedback, the better. And I think, maybe we can look into these things and look at why they moved a certain way. Because I really like to perfect this.
Well, there's 2 things, Brian, that we can use the earnings for. The first of all, I found sometimes, even though the options show a certain direction that it's going to go, sometimes it doesn't overly make sense because they're so highly priced. Sometimes you win, but sometimes you lose. It's kind of like playing in the Kentucky Derby and having an even money bet. Sometimes you're only getting your money back. What I like about the earnings, the direction it should go. Write it down. Then when the earnings come out, if it starts up, it's usually going to drop. That's usually how it works. I mean, a classic example this morning was Wix, W-I-X. If you bring that up on that chart to your left there, Brian, on Fidelity. So what it's important, you put up today.
I wonder if I can.
You see what it did is it spiked to 75. Yeah, it's
Oh.
beautiful the way you got that.
Oh, yeah.
So what it is you had 5 minute, no break. It broke it right there. And then look what happened is it dropped for the rest of the day.
Right, yeah.
So it gapped up. So it gapped up $5. Then they actually went $10 up. And then the thing is that if you could have went short, it was a great short because you went all the way down to 65 from 75. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, I guess it's probably not so much a gap, but it rose up $5.
Let me see if I can.
So when I'm looking for a list, I'm looking for a list that has a lot of times earnings, because what happens is that you need something that's going to make a big move. And that's the key thing about this. So Home Depot and Lowe's are usually two good plays to play earnings. And again, usually it does that, and then usually it goes downward.
Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, so that'll be my homework for this week is to get this.
Well, I can guarantee you I'm going to lend my expertise on the earnings because the thing is that for many years, that's where I made a lot of money. And because I know what to look for and not what to look for.
What to look out for, yeah.
Yeah, let me show you while we got this app. Let me show you on if you bring up the TTWO
Oh,
on the Fidelity. No,
so,
not on there because
Oh.
it's on here. So sometimes what happens, let me just show you what to look for on earnings, is that what you had there is that when a stock gives you an idea that it's going to go up, is that before earnings, it starts to spike upward a little bit. Now, what happens is that the arrow or the line, which is your 20-minute SMA, is that the stock always wants to go back to that line. So theoretically, TTWO will hit 120 tomorrow, in theory. And then what it is, it'll bounce off of that and probably go back to 110. But what you're doing is on an earnings play, it usually will always come back to the 20-day SMA. That's what happens on earnings. So, all right, Brian.
okay.
Take my cards.
That's right. Yeah.
Sell some books.
Yeah. You have enjoy the sun. Have fun in Hawaii.
Absolutely.
Tell Daniel what. Yeah. Give Daniel a bill for advertising him.
Yeah, there you go.
Okie doke. Well, everyone, I hope you guys had a good night, a good rest of the week. As reach out if you need me. The iOS version is on the Apple Store. I was trying to show you on this, but since this is an iMac, it won't even show the app because you can't run the app on an iMac. But if you search for the number 5 and then MIN stock rule, you'll find that app. I'll post a link to it as well. But as always, reach out. And hopefully by the next time Alan and I meet, that earnings app will be in the Google Play Store as a test version. So have a good night and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay.